Welcome to Louisiana Gardening Family. Today we're talking about rerooting your tomato plants. This is something that's real easy to do. And if you're watching, what I'm doing now is we planted these out a while ago and we didn't want to stress the plant out. But also the reason we didn't pull them apart or just cut them out while they were young was because we wanted to save these tomato plants themselves. And we wanted to allow all the plants that were planted together when we planted the seeds together, we wanted to allow them to grow so we could see which one would kind of be the strongest or the healthiest. So we're choosing from those the one that we think is the best plant, and the other one we're just cutting out. Right now we're doing a little cleaning up the bottom of the stem just to get it a little bit away from the dirt, so when we water, that dirt won't splash up on the plant and kind of cause a lot of that tomato blight and things like that. Also, I have some of the calcium from our eggshells, and we're putting that in the soil just on the top, like top dressing, and kind of massaging it in. Today's episode, we're gonna take that tomato plant. Some people would just thin their plants out and throw them away, but today we're going to show you how to keep those plants and make them into new plants. You know, you can do the same thing with tomato suckers, but if you don't know, you can also do the same thing with your transplants. So that's two. This is going to be three. We're going to just leave one plant in each hole. We're not going to grow, even though it's in the ground, and they probably would do okay with having two plants coming out the same hole. But here in this instance, we only want one plant out of each hole, one plant from each pot on our tomatoes. So we're kind of choosing which one we think is the best one, and we're gonna get some stakes that's around our citrus trees that didn't make it through the winter, and we're gonna use those stakes or repurpose those stakes as tomato stakes, which I think that's what they were anyway. We just was using them to drape some fabric and things over the trees during the winter time to try to save them. That was a big sucker that I took off, and I was thinking about keeping that one, but I ended up not keeping it. We just kept just the plants that we cut. After this video, this clip here, you'll see us, we'll go to the table, and then the audio will come back on, and that's where you'll see me and Beverly actually go through the process of rooting the tomato plants that we've cut right now. We're going to root those back into some bottles to start. Any kind of bottles, 20 ounce, 16 ounce, whatever bottles you have, that's what we're going to use to root them. So right now we're just cleaning up, taking them out, making sure it's nice and clean. About a hand span away from the dirt is what I'm doing now. You see my hand is on the ground, so I don't want anything past that too much. And they'll grow up taller, so they'll get away from that. So here we got another one. I think these are that Japanese variety that we got from Rad Seeds. So I'm excited to see all the different varieties of tomatoes that we have actually grow and see what they taste like, because I've never tasted a lot of these tomatoes that we're growing this season. And once again, you can see the calcium powdered eggshells that we used in the blender, kind of blended them up, and that's gonna be what we're trying to get to feed our plant. It would have been better if we would have put this in during the potting process, but I do remember we did crush up some eggshells and just throw in the hole, but we didn't do that to every plant, especially the potted plants. But this time, once we take these that we've cut out, we'll be putting in that powdered eggshells from the onset. So that's 1, 2, 3. I think we end up with 7 plants like this. So let us go to the table and I'll show you exactly how we got started with this. 1 second. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to see all of my body, but or all of Bev. So, because we really want you to kind of get what we're doing, and basically all you want to do is the same thing we did outside. Is just, I'll give her something to start on.
Just trimmed it. And
just trimming it out. We want to get some space for this to actually go into our bottles that we prepared. And this is easy, just go as much as you want, really. So you see how that looks, right? And basically
put them in the water.
You just put them in the water. And I'll show you, and you can fill it up, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna take this one off too. Better. So you see how far that stem, can you see that? Drops down into your water. Your roots are gonna come all out of there, I promise. So, and you can put more than one in a bottle. You don't have to really be too timid with it because they're really strong plants. So I put 2 in that bottle. And open that up. So we got some little water bottles from the dollar store. Kombucha bottles. Anything you basically can get. You got all of them?
Yeah.
All right. So we take this and we can compost these leaves. What we want to show you is in about a week's time what you're going to see out of these bottles. Now I made a mistake and left these outside and it got real windy and they'll keep falling over because it's not really that heavy. And if you don't watch it daily and come outside, and you'll lose your plant because it needs to stay in the water. The stem will not rot, it'll just grow more roots. So we'll show you that.
Yep.
Voila. So can you see that? And we can pull it out because like I say, it's a hardy plant. So once you get your roots to the size that you want them, then you're fine to just go ahead and plant them. We're gonna plant these in pots. I've planted them in the ground before and they really kind of droop early on when you plant them, but you have to keep them watered until those roots establish into the dirt. So, and you'll see, because this one fell over a whole lot more, you'll see that it's not really ready to go into the ground. But I'd say about 2 to 3 weeks, you should be ready to start going. You see it starts to brown. You can also change your water and it won't hurt. I would change it from time to time, or at least make sure your water stays shook up so that algae will rotten it out, the algae, more than just the water. And this is our last one and it just fell over, so we have to add more water to this one. So, but that's how you reroot your plants. And when you see us cutting them and thinning them, you probably was like, no, perfectly good tomato plant. We're not losing them, we're just replacing them, and that's the easiest way to replace them. Don't dig up and don't pull apart your root systems. Leave that root system, that old root system in the ground, and grow you a new one and leave that plant out there thriving. This is the way we've been doing it with all of our tomatoes, and they are looking fairly healthy. So I would recommend, now I can let you see my face, I would recommend this method, especially for those that grow from seeds, right? Because you're always going to have those bunches 2 and 3 out of one bunch, because you're planting 2 and 3 seeds to each block. Go ahead on as you transplant it. You don't have to worry about thinning it right then. Let them grow up a little bit more, and then that's when you do your thinning at about this size. This is a big size to thin, but I found that it's far better than pulling plants apart, stressing out the roots and things like that. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Thanks Beverly and Ariana for crying in our video, because I know it's going to be on there, because if I can hear it, I know the people are going to hear it. So that was her trying to get on the video. And we actually did get a pepper. I don't know if this is the sweet banana pepper or the spicy banana pepper, but we'll see later. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for joining in. You want to say hey?
Say hello.
Say like Fiona, peace and quiet.
Say peace and quiet.
Grow, grow, grow. Thank you. Blessed.
Bye-bye.